What if the fate of the next Lakers dynasty hinges not on superstar talent or headline trades, but on the invisible chess moves happening in the shadows, the patient pauses, the quiet bailouts, the carefully calculated risks that only true insiders can see coming? What if timing, that merciless and relentless force, is about to swing the pendulum for LA, tipping the scales in ways that make or break legacies? Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where raw truth meets purple and gold. Passion, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a second of this drama. Because today, everything just fell perfectly into place for the Lakers in ways you might not have expected. And if you blink, you'll miss the pivot that could redefine this season's narrative. It all starts with Rob Pelinka, the front office maestro who's playing the long game with the patience of a Zen master amid the chaos that defines this offseason. Yesterday, a report dropped that sent ripples through Lakers Nation, courtesy of Jake Weinbach, revealing that the Wizards are a team overloaded with young prospects after snatching up Cam Whitmore in a move that cost them 2 second-round picks. Staring down a roster crunch so sharp it's forcing veterans like Chris Middleton and Marcus Smart to the brink of bailout candidacy. Suddenly, the whispers around bailouts morphed into deafening roars, and one name above all has Lakers fans blinking hard: Marcus Smart. Think back, just a couple of months ago in June, the Lakers were the frontrunners to land Smart through a blockbuster trade. Now, while pushing for such a trade might not make the most sense, the stars have aligned for a bailout acquisition, a scenario so ripe with possibility that it explains the near Zen patience Pelinka is exercising right now. See, the Cam Whitmore opportunity slipped through LA's fingers, not because they lacked interest or vision, but simply because the Lakers didn't have those precious 2 second-round picks Houston demanded, those exact picks the Wizards gobbled up to flush out their youthful core. This sets the stage for a new kind of maneuver buying talent through the bailout market rather than trading assets, and Marcus Smart is at the center of that storm. The Wizards, juggling veterans like Middleton, C.J. McCollum, and Smart all under a calendar of limited minutes, look primed to part ways with some heavy hitters to clear cap and rotation space. Out of all of them, Smart not only fits the Lakers' profile but ignites a spark of defensive grit and tenacity this roster desperately needs. Picture the matchup nightmare: a gritty, defensive dynamo stepping off LA's bench, locking down opposing point guards, and bringing seasoned toughness to a bench sorely lacking bite. Smart's no stranger to high stakes. He carved his name into NBA battles with Boston, earned Defensive Player of the Year honors, and despite injury clouds and shifts from Boston to Memphis to Washington, his essence never faded. Last season's numbers with the Wizards might not wow you: 9 points and 2 assists per game, shooting 39% from three, but context matters. The Wizards weren't exactly a shining beacon, and Smart, now 30 and slightly past his prime, could thrive anew in a stable, competitive Lakers environment alongside LeBron or Luka. Think about it. He's a defensive ace, a three-point shooter who can space the floor, and a facilitator with enough savvy to keep the offense humming without the responsibilities weighing him down completely. Compare that with the alternative targets surfacing in bailout talks like C.J. McCollum and Bradley Beal, the former with offensive upside but questionable fit, the latter carrying an expensive baggage of expectations, yet still an intriguing scoring weapon. Smart's blend of defensive fortitude and veteran savvy suddenly makes a lot of sense. Yet, of course, the skeptics abound. I see the Reddit takes. Here the Wizards fans warning that Smart's clutch shooting is heart attack inducing, that his late game offense is shaky at best, that his playmaking has diminished. But let's be real, the Lakers aren't counting on him to take crunch time shots. With so many offensive weapons commanding attention: LeBron, Luka, Reeves, the role Smart would play is crystal clear: lockdown defender, secondary playmaker, 3-and-D specialist. And if you think about it, that's exactly the missing piece in a roster that's underwhelming defensively beyond the stars and desperately needs bench toughness. This move also sheds light on why Pelinka has so far resisted aggressive trades. or rash moves. He's waiting for the right time to strike in the buyout market. And all signs point to Marcus Smart as that opportunity. And here's the kicker. With Smart likely joining via the biannual exception, the Lakers would have to choose carefully between him and others like DeAnthony Melton, another guard who brings offense but less defensive firepower, which leads to a tantalizing dilemma. If you had to pick one, Melton with his offensive upside or Smart with his defensive grit, who would you side with? The yin and yang of the backcourt puzzle hangs in suspense. Does LA prioritize lockdown defense to stymie opponents, or do they roll the dice on offensive flashes that might unlock more scoring punch off the bench? This debate alone has Lakers Nation buzzing late into the night, and it's a discussion Rob Pelinka is undoubtedly weighing meticulously. Meanwhile, a bright spark on the horizon comes in the form of DeAndre Ayton, the new center whose signing has turned heads, including former Laker Michael Thompson's, who believes Ayton will silencing doubters by proving his worth on the grand stage. Reports say Luka Doncic is buzzing with excitement about pairing with Ayton, praising his versatility not just as a screen-and-roll center, but one who can create his own shot and command high-post passing lobs, something that complements the stars like few big men can these days. The Lakers, then, may be quietly constructing a roster that blends the grit of a Marcus Smart alongside the emerging potential of a confident inside presence like Ayton, one that might give LeBron and Luka the ideal support to carve through defenses and reignite the purple and gold's hunger for glory. Yet, as a lifelong Lakers fan, living through every post-pounding playoff heartbreak, every championship parade, I can't help but feel the weight of this moment. Rob Pelinka's patience can either be the calm before a perfect storm or a quiet hesitation that lets precious opportunities slip away. Marcus Smart could be the defensive keystone that holds this team together, or yet another perimeter cog lost beneath the glittering lights. DeAndre Ayton's potential could unlock a new dimension or fall prey to unmet expectations. Will these moves sow the seeds of a new Lakers empire, one built on grit and reinvented hope? Or are they merely the early tremors of unraveling, hints of chaos beneath the surface waiting to explode in the pressure cooker that is Los Angeles? So, I leave you this, drop your take in the comments. I'll be reading every one. Because in this delicate dance of roster moves, rumors, and hope, every voice matters and every moment counts. The stage is set. The question is, what story will we tell come season's end? Listen up, Lakers Nation. This is the kind of moment where you either stand on the edge of your seat or walk away missing the greatest act of the season before it even begins to unfold. Because what's coming here isn't just a basketball move or a subtle roster tweak. This is the stuff that shakes up history books and rewrites what it means to be king in the Western Conference. Picture LeBron James, not as the aging icon some write-off with a cruel expiration date, but as a gladiator gearing up for one last, furious campaign where every possession matters, every matchup is a war, and where the weight of legacy isn't just a burden but the fire under his feet. Now, slide over Anthony Davis, our enigmatic unicorn whose health has been a roller coaster of heartbreak and promise. What happens when you mix a newly energized LeBron with a healthy AD and surround them with the kind of blue-collar defenders and facilitators like Marcus Smart who don't just bring skills, but bring attitude? Reeves, who's been strutting and hustling with the confidence of a young king hungry to prove he belongs, suddenly finds himself in a backcourt festering with competition. But this is the grind that sharpens souls in LA, the challenge that either propels a man to superstardom or buries him under the weight of expectations. And Bronny? The kids watching, learning, absorbing every win and loss in the Aurelian glow of Lakers lore, understanding that this is more than a game, it's a family legacy on the brink of transformation or implosion. Because here's the truth that, cut deep, the Lakers, for all their glitz and glamour, have long been the heart and soul of high-stakes drama, from the fast-break brilliance of the Showtime 80s, where Magic danced circles around the fences and Kareem's skyhook signaled that a dynasty was born, to the early 2000s when Kobe and Shaq elbowed their way through the league in a dominant, complicated symbiosis fueled by hunger and occasional firestorms. Those rings did not come easy, and they sure as hell didn't come quietly. Fast forward to that 2020 bubble, a surreal pressure cooker setting where the Lakers, carrying the ghosts of past disappointments and the very palpable presence of a city desperate for a championship, silenced doubters and critics with the stubborn grit of a team that refused to be put out before their time. But then, the slow, agonizing slide, not just a roster aging out of contention, but an identity crisis magnified in a city of endless spotlight and unrelenting demand. And here we stand, now on the edge of what could be either a rebirth or another endlessly debated chapter of what might have been. Imagine Jeannie Buss, steady at the helm of this storied franchise, her legacy intertwined with every shuffle in the front office and personnel decisions that have defined this modern Lakers era. But what if her reign meets an unexpected challenge? Some deep-pocketed billionaire looking to come in and shake the foundation, not with patience, but with the sort of must-win-now mentality that either wins titles or tears dynasties apart at the seams. The tension in the front office isn't just about talent or salary caps, it's about power, vision, and the soul of this franchise hanging by a thread. And while the Lakers have always been royalty in the basketball world, the kingdom is under siege. The West has grown ferocious, a beast of multiple heads hungry to dethrone any pretender. The Warriors, that juggernaut of shooting and experience, still cast a shadow that stretches long over the title picture, but the cracks are showing. Steph Curry aging, Clay struggling with injuries, a bench that isn't what it once was. Denver is waiting, peering from the mountaintops with their young dynamo Jokic, pushing to seize their place in the sun. Phoenix, with their roller coaster of potential and pain, and the Clippers, a roster that keeps reshaping yet still hungry. To erase their playoff ghosts, all circle the Lakers with calculated eyes ready to pounce on any sign of weakness. Now imagine this, the addition of a player like Marcus Smart, someone who can literally dictate the pace of the game on defense, frustrate the likes of Curry or Booker, and bring a punk rock edge to the locker room. Does that break the Warriors' spell? Could the Lakers finally force a shift in power, tipping the scales away from Golden State and into purple and gold? But with every ray of hope, another shadow creeps in. What if this gamble backfires? What if Smart, battling nagging injuries and questions about his shooting consistency, can't reclaim the magic that made him a Defensive Player of the Year? What if DeAndre Ayton's potential fizzles out under the bright lights and pressure? Cooker of Los Angeles, where big men have crumbled before. This razor-thin line between glory and heartbreak is ingrained in Lakers DNA. We remember the shattered dreams of the 2011 season when Kobe was sidelined by injury and the team's championship window seemingly slammed shut overnight. Or the painful fallout of Shaq's departure, the passing of the torch to Kobe alone, a lonely reign that ended with bruising playoff battles and ultimately the long climb back to relevance. More recently, those early playoff exits, the injuries, the whirlwind coaching changes, the perpetual tension between star power and roster chemistry, that's the undercurrent of Lakers basketball. And now we are thrust again into the tempest, with a roster that may or may not be balanced enough, a front office that is juggling hope and dealings with the weight of generations, and a fan base that is both exhausted and expectant. The bar isn't just a championship. For Lakers fans, it's a standard of excellence, a birthright, a cultural touchstone that transcends sport. The pulse of Crypto.com arena, the roar of purple and gold jerseys, the legacy chanted from rowdy bars to quiet living rooms. This is not just a team. This is a part of who we are. So yes, the chessboard is set, the pieces have moved quietly. Calculated risks are simmering just beneath the surface. But the next move, the pivotal play, is still waiting in the wings. Will Rob Blanca's patience pay off? Will Marcus Smart arrive not as a forlorn gamble, but as a catalyst that reignites the defensive brute force this team has craved for years? Will DeAndre Ayton's wrist flicks and screens open up lanes for LeBron and Luka, that we haven't seen since the glory days? Or will this season unravel under the pressure of sky-high expectations, exposing cracks that Sunday mornings of the off-season try desperately to cover? As a Laker till the day I die, here's what I see coming. This isn't a calm before the storm. It's the silent, electric hum of destiny tightening its grip. We're staring down the barrel of either a new dynasty born in fire, grit, and resurrection, or a heartbreak saga worthy of the purple and gold annals of past near misses. And here's the kicker. The difference between eternal glory and agonizing what if is often razor thin. A single possession, a single defensive stop, a single be-out signing that changes everything or nothing. Now I want to hear it from you. Drop your rawest take below. Every true believer in purple and gold. What's your verdict on Marcus Smart? The maestro of lockdown defense, or a risk too great? Can Aden be the backbone this team desperately needs? And in this swirling maelstrom of Lakers' fate, who do you trust to carry the soul of this team forward when the lights burn the brightest and the weight of history comes crashing down? The stage is set. The stakes have never been higher. And Lakers Nation is watching, waiting for the next move that will either echo through time or vanish, like a whisper in the echoes of legends.